Okay guys, so in today's video we're going to be talking about Aphria stock. So this is actually a stock that one of you guys mentioned in the comment section. So as always, if you guys want me to feature a certain company, just leave it in the comments and I'll do my best to make a video on it. So Aphria is kind of one of the cannabis stocks that I haven't really been focusing on so much because, well, for a number of reasons, especially, well, the biggest reason for me is simply that Aphria kind of has one of the higher cash cash costs per gram. So for me, I like to focus on the kind of the cannabis stocks that have the lower cash cost per gram, and simply their sales aren't as higher as companies like Aurora or Canopy Growth. So that's one of the reasons why, guys. But I figured that all of these stocks are pretty cheap, and it's currently at a $723 million market cap. So it's definitely an attractive company, and I think that a lot of these cannabis stocks are going to be performing much better in the future when we report kind of how the earnings have done based on the whole coronavirus situation and beyond. Like I said, a lot of these companies, there might be some consolidation in the future. So let's get a bit more into it, guys. So I really haven't talked about Aphria yet on this channel, so I just want to a quick background on the company in case you guys really aren't familiar with them. So basically, Aphria, another cannabis producer, founded in 2013, and they, like I said, they're basically have presence within 10 countries. So that's what I was saying. Aurora and Canopy Growth have larger global footprints. So Aphria is one of the smaller cannabis companies in terms of global footprint and stuff like that. So then I want to take you guys, show you guys a bit more about the company. So if I could just take you guys to one of their most recent presentations. You guys can find all of this information if you go to aphriainc.com and check out the investor relations. So here's some of their brands that they have. They have different cannabis brands that are featured. And as you guys can see here, you know, so I would say one of the top 5 cannabis companies in the world, definitely based on market cap and in terms of production. So as you guys can see here, there's more information. So I just want to scroll through and give you guys some key points here. So basically, like I said, they're one of the financial highlights. Now, Aphria is actually, even though they're not as big and they're not as globally diversified, they have one of the better financial balance sheets that you're going to find in the cannabis industry. So as you guys can see here, financial results set us apart from our peers. Adjusted EBITDA positive in the last 3 quarters. So guys, if you're looking for to invest in one of the better balanced cannabis stocks financially, because this, with their management, they're much more conservative in terms of growth. Companies like Canopy, companies like Aphria, I'm sorry, not Aphria, companies like Aurora Cannabis, these companies are trying to grow more aggressively, which means they're spending more money, and they're not their EBITDA is not as good. Whereas Aphria is a bit more conservative with their approach. So, guys, another thing, they've won a lot of awards last year. So their products are definitely well known in the cannabis industry, and this company doesn't get talked about as much either. So this could be like quietly a quiet buying opportunity if you guys are looking to invest in a cannabis stock that doesn't get as much attention. So let's just keep going, talk it down. Let's hear some of their distribution model in Canada. So as you guys can see here, they basically have plenty of retail stores all over Canada. That's where they're doing a majority of their sales. And according to them, they have a 13.9% market share in Ontario and currently 500 plus stores in Canada, expected to grow to 3,000. So guys, that's what I was saying. This company is making a lot of money in the retail market. And as you guys know, people were rushing to Canada to buy cannabis during the whole coronavirus crisis. So this is definitely one of the companies that will benefit from that kind of, I would say, cannabis rush, especially because the government allowed cannabis retailers to stay open because people do use these products for medicinal purposes, and they wanted these people to be able to still access cannabis in a time like this. So another thing that's good about Aphria is that 255,000 kilograms licensed annual Canadian production, which is excellent. They have 3 main production facilities that they produce cannabis in. So all of these numbers look great, guys. And like I said, they're also involved in the vape market and stuff like that. They're doing a lot of good things, guys. So you guys can check out this presentation And then also the last thing I want to talk about is kind of their global strategy. So I've been doing a lot of reading on Aphria, and they're basically focused on three key markets: Canada, Germany, and Latin America. A little bit different because companies like Aurora and Canopy Growth are more focused on expanding in Europe and places like that, where I think Aphria is a much more focused global strategy. So as you guys can see, they're already going deeply into Germany, and they have a lot of growth potential in Latin America. According to them, Brazil approved the sale of medical cannabis in December 2019. So you've got a lot of key markets out there where people are going to be using these products. And I think Aphria is well positioned. They're not as, to me, they're not as attractive, but I would say they're like number 3 or number 4. If I were to rank them quickly off the top of my head, I would say number 1 for me would be Aurora Cannabis, Canopy Growth, Aphria, Hexo, and then if you guys were looking for a fifth option, I really like that innovative industrial properties REIT. So as we continue down, guys, I just want to quickly go over this presentation a bit more, and then you guys can check this out on your own. So as you can see here, expanding in Latin America and stuff like that. And I think Brazil is an excellent opportunity. They have a pretty big economy. They have a lot of people there, and you know, Brazil, Argentina, and Colombia. All these countries have a lot of people that would be using and have disposable income to purchase medicinal and recreational cannabis as well. And I think into the future, I think all of the street dealers and the street sellers and the recreational sellers, I think they're all going to get squeezed out eventually, because we saw kind of the similar thing with the whole Prohibition era. I know that's a completely different time, but it just seems like so much easier to just go the legal route. And the legal route can provide so many ancillary products and stuff like that compared to the street sellers, where they're just basically providing the plant. So then, as we can see here, guys, I wanted to talk about kind of their balance sheet. So for some of you guys out there, you're probably more interested in cannabis companies that are growing fast. Well, this company is well more balanced financially. So as you guys can see here, they're holding about $500 million in cash and marketable securities, and their EBiTA growth is positive for 3 consecutive quarters, and their adult cannabis growth of 45% quarter over quarter. So guys, they're not growing as fast. And then I want to quickly talk about yeah, excellent financial position, guys. I want to go into that press release of their recent quarterly earnings report. So I'll give you guys some raw numbers on how much money they're making and stuff like that. So I always like to go through these reports, guys. I really recommend you can find a lot of these reports on Google if you just type in Aphria earnings or something like that, or Aphria quarterly report, because I really like that blurb from the CEO. Sometimes it's rosy, but a lot of times it provides a lot of good information. So as you guys can see here, it says, we are very pleased with our strong growth and execution in Canada, demonstrated by our increase in adult cannabis revenue and positive adjusted EBiTA as a result of our compelling brands and marketing position. We are continuing to expand our capabilities internationally with solid progress during the quarter in Germany and South America, and look to monetize non-core accents. We are confident in our market position, our ability to generate sustainable profit growth. I'm honored to continue working closely with our tremendous team around the world to fuel growth and value for our stakeholders. So guys, sounds good. And I want to give you guys some revenue numbers. So the revenue is, if you guys could take a look at it, revenue for adult use cannabis to $29 million. That's a 46% increase. They had a positive EBiTA. Now they did have net losses, as most of these companies are. And as you guys can see, some pretty strong revenue numbers. Net revenue of $120 million in the second quarter, an increase of 457% from the prior quarter year over year. So those are some excellent numbers, guys. Very nice to see this type of growth. And as you guys can see, their revenue has substantially gone up quite a bit. Excellent numbers here, so you guys can take a look at it. Now, one of the things I was talking about earlier is that their cash cost per gram is not what I like to see, but it is, according to their report, it has been lowering. That's about $1.11. Aurora has one of the cheapest ones, which is only 88 cents in their most recent quarter, guys. So I think if they're able to get that cost of gram down, it looks like it's been going down since the last quarter. You saw in Q1 2020 it was $1.43. Now it's $1.11. So as long as they can keep that number down, that is a very, very important number, guys, because the lower they can get that cost, cash cost per gram, and that is basically how much it costs them to produce 1 gram of cannabis, and obviously they're able to resell it at a much higher cost. So that's a pretty important number, guys. And then also I want to talk about some more about how much they're actually producing. So as you can see here, average retail selling price of medicinal cannabis before taxes increased to $8.16 per gram. So guys, that's what I was saying. As long as they can continue to drop that cash cost per gram, increase the selling price, we're going to see much more profits in the long run. So really, guys, nice company, definitely in the top three for me when it comes to cannabis companies. And I'm going to talk a bit more about Aphria because I was so bullish on I was so bullish on Aurora Cannabis and Canopy Growth. I think Canopy Growth is a little bit more expensive, but as we can see here, they have net revenue of approximately 575 to 625 million. So that's in fiscal year 2020, guys. So that's that's a lot of money, guys, and they're definitely going to be benefiting for the kind of the cannabis rush that's going on during the coronavirus crisis. A lot of these numbers look good, and the more and more I read up about this company, the more Aphria is to me. It seems like it is strongly in the top three of all cannabis stocks. So if you guys aren't familiar on how to invest in cannabis stocks and legal marijuana stocks, you guys just check out my article on my website. I post a link in the description for more information. So guys, a lot of nice things, and then I want to quickly show you guys some of their global operations on the website. You guys can check out all this information. So as you can see here, they have a pretty nice footprint, not as big as some of the other companies, but they're well positioned in Canada, Europe, Caribbean, obviously key markets like Argentina, Brazil, South Africa, and even in Australia, guys. So now that they've kind of gone over the company, since it's the first video that I've been talking about Aphria, where do I think the stock is going right now? Well, I mentioned that they had those 500 plus retail stores in Canada, so we should definitely expect sales to go up a ton because of this whole coronavirus crisis. So I think that this is a great spot to get in Aphria, actually. And if we take a look at the 1 year chart, we can see that the shares are down, basically 80%, up to about 70 to 80% as they were a year ago. So for me, guys, this company looks really, the more and more I talk about Aphria and the more and more I read on it, it really looks really attractive because of that strong retail footprint and that reducing cash calls per gram, and they're increasing both adult use and medicinal sales. So for me, it's a buy. Most of these cannabis stocks are a buy for me, guys. In the next 5 to 10 years, we're going to see an explosion of sales in global cannabis. The global cannabis market is projected to reach $75 billion by 2027. You guys can check out, I have all this information in my How to Invest Cannabis article. So please check that out, guys, if you're new to the industry and stuff like that. So that's it for now, guys. I hope I answered that question that you guys leave in the comments. And like I said, guys, I read every single comment you leave, and I do my best to reply to every single comment as well. So you guys just let me know which stocks you want to talk about, and I will simply make a video. I'm creating this channel for you guys. I cannot succeed if I don't help you succeed. So that's it for now, guys. Please smash that like button and hit subscribe. And have you gotten your free stocks yet? If you sign up for Robinhood, you get 1 free share of stock. And if you sign up under my link using Webull, you get 2 free shares of stock if you set up an account, open an account, and make any deposit. So that's it for now, guys. Go out there and get those free stocks. Check out those resources I mentioned in the description box. And until next time, guys, stay safe out there. Take care.